let's check out what Sydney Watson has got here. This was 3 weeks ago. The age of ugly is over. Well, I mean, it's still prevalent to this very day, right?
I have hair in my armpit.
Just a reminder that I am very fat and very sexy.
So, your child has come out to you.
I've had the revelation that I identify as non-binary.
I am still not certain what to make of this.
I'm not too sure either.
Hi, my name is
More
Sydney.
power
Welcome
to
back
them,
to
right?
hell. So before we do this, before we do the meat and potatoes, two very important things. Number one, new tea is here. It's finally in stock. So I have been packing and shipping your orders. Once again, on a serious note, thank you guys so much for being patient. I know that these pre-sale times are very long, but I am so excited for you to try the new tea. I think you'll really like it, and if you don't, I'll force you. But number two, and more importantly,
take it easy.
girl, your Hell Gondola steerer, director, stick wielder, your girl is going on tour in October. So in a couple months there will be 9 shows, which means that we can all meet and gather together on our Hell Gondola, and you're gonna love it. And you might be wondering, Sydney, what precisely are you gonna do that's gonna entertain us? And that, Simon, is a great question. I have been thinking about this for a number of months and have some of my own fun ideas.
You'll love it right now,
I
motherfucker.
actually really would like input from all of you, because you guys also have good ideas. So tell me, what do you want to see? Maybe a little bit of this. Or a little bit of this. But you weird internet people know what ain't mainly
fucking
when
Reagan
my
Kelly
testicles
bullshit.
get squished and touch my legs. Who knows? But what I do know is
They
that you
took her
should all
derbs.
100% go into my description box, buy some tickets, and come see
They
me.
took
And I'll
her
see you, and it will
derbs.
be wonderful. Because on a actual serious note, I do love running into you guys in everyday life, so I think this will be that, but times 1,000. And that sounds like a lot of fun. And I promise from the bottom of my little heart, I will not bore you. I promise you that. Anyway, tickets in the description box. Get around it. I am very much looking forward to meeting all of you guys, and you guys meeting each other, because although this is not a cult, it could be. Okay, back to the video.
I thought it was a
the
cult.
other day, I was perusing the internet, as I do.
Sorry,
It's
that
a
was just
problem,
my
really.
assumption.
And I came across a tweet that perfectly encapsulated a thought that I have also been having recently. In response to a new picture of Demi Lovato looking very feminine and beautiful, the author wrote, "Said this on Instagram not too long ago, but there was this weird trend where people, mainly celebrities, were uglying, that's very hard to say, uglying themselves,
Uglying 'em.
embracing gender dysphoria, and just overall promoting mental illness / an unhealthy lifestyle. It was roughly between the years 2016 to 2023. Something shifted at the end of
that's
2023,
true.
and it suddenly
I mean,
became
if
cool to
you-
be normal and hot again.
I mean, if
Demi
you
Lovato
looked at
is the
some of those, right, if you looked at some of those famous people during that time too, they were going through some heavy, right? Some of them were drug addicts and shit, right? They were doing drugs and saying some real weird shit, right?
poster child of this phenomenon. She is indeed. Can't even remember to use her own they them pronouns. Ironic.
I still mess up sometimes and, you know, say, oh, I can't wait to be an aunt one day. And I'm like, wait.
But the reason seeing this post was so funny to me is because ages ago I had actually partially written a video asking why absolutely everything and everyone was so ugly. Modernity, Sydney. It's because of modernity. This was apparently the same idea that a lot of other YouTubers and journalists had as well,
Why is everything
spanning
ugly?
multiple social and cultural ideas, with some commenting on how art
The
and
uglification.
entertainment
Look,
are both soulless and
I'm not
bland,
saying
how modern
Tesla,
fashion is
some of
hideous,
Tesla
and the
cars are
general
ugly,
unattractiveness associated
but
with
they are.
wokeism.
Why is everything so ugly? Why is everywhere we go, all of our stores, our advertisements, like everything that we interact with as people in the outside world, our TV, our music, why is it all so
I mean,
ugly?
if you want to see
Because,
ugly,
as
just
we've
take a
all
look at
learned over the
UK
last number
land.
of years,
There's
there
just
is a reason
ugliness all
why
over the
the
fucking
blue-haired
place.
feminist stereotype
Trash all over the
persists,
place.
and we can all identify who is a they/them based on appearance alone.
I don't like lying to
Whoa,
people
what the
about,
fuck?
like, who I am.
And the temper
Goddamn.
tantrums and screaming.
Screaming for attention, I can see.
Not too long ago, I even remember
Honestly,
watching
the people
Irish
that do
entrant
that
for
kind
the
of shit
Eurovision
just
Song Contest
right,
and
they're just
thinking,
asking
how did
for
we end up
attention.
here, where this type
Why
of
else
thing
would
has
they just
become
plaster
culturally
themselves with all that
normalized?
shit?
And people are clapping?
It just
Do you know
doesn't
what
make any
makes me
sense.
special? I'm a queer. And
Good-
I'm a
You are not queer.
okay.
You are a straight person trying to be
I'm a
interesting.
queer.
Anyway,
Good
the
for
last
you, I guess.
decade or so has honestly
You want
been
a
all
cookie?
about
I don't know.
representation and diversity and body positivity
That-
and
d- I-
recently gender
I
fluidity,
don't know.
giving us, I
did
would
you-
argue, one of the ugliest
Did you want an
periods in
accolade for that?
history,
I don't
with all of this
know.
ideological ugliness injected into absolutely everything, from politics to entertainment to media to social media. But that seemingly has come to an end recently. Because finally, for the first time in a long time, being hot and normal is back in style. Thank fuck. So I
mean,
want to talk about that because
mean,
I
I
find
don't-
all these type of things.
I don't know if she. Look, there was this. Well, I don't. There was this. Oh, I don't think she talked. Oh, okay. Well. Oh, are women okay? Yeah, okay. So I think she talked about the Sydney stuff here, but yeah.
Things very interesting, and also I get to remind you all about a lot of weird crap that you've probably forgotten. I'll also caveat here among my normal disclaimers, like this video is by no means exhaustive, that obviously attractiveness and ugliness are subjective things. There's also nothing
Correct.
wrong with promoting self-acceptance.
I mean, it's the
and
same way
actual body
how
positivity
people
around
rate
things that
right
you can
celebrities.
change. No, that does not include being shaped like the Kool-Aid Man.
The
Sorry
hot
about that.
celebrity
I'm also
females,
only
right?
concentrating on one specific area of this conversation, but yes, I too would like McDonald's to look like it did in the 90s. So come on board, kids. Get aboard ye old hell gondola and let's do the thing because I am ready to re-traumatize you all. But before we once again cuddle up together, let's hear from today's sponsor, Chubbies. As all of you know, I like to make really silly ads for brands. Sorry, Murphy's down here. But for this one, the message is a little bit more serious, so I want to be a little bit more serious. I told all of you recently about how I have been suffering for a number of years from obsessive compulsive disorder brought on by anxiety, which thankfully has gotten better over the last number of years.
OCD.
Which is incredibly isolating when you're going through it, and unfortunately more and more people are suffering from
Anxiety and
depression.
OCD.
So given that this issue is very, very close to my heart, when Chubbies reached out and said that they wanted to sponsor a video, I was extremely excited. These adorable little plushies are more than just a stuffed toy. They are part of a movement towards comfort, connection, and healing.
Are they,
And yes, they are super cute and soft
they a
on their own,
stress
let me
ball?
tell you, but when you buy a Chubby, you gain access to a
Those look like a
community
stress
full
ball.
of therapeutic resources, stress management tools, and importantly, people who understand what you are going through. I love this concept. I love this idea. These are so freaking cute. And honestly, in an age where technology is isolating us further from one another,
Yeah,
where
those
we
are
spend so much
those
more
are
time in our
essentially
phones
like
not
stress
connecting with one
balls.
another, where a lot of people suffer in silence.
You know, feel
I love that
stressful,
somebody
hug
is
the
trying to
thing.
build a community that is going
Hug
to
it to
help
death,
people
damn
and
it.
provide resources to
You
empower
hug
them
it to
to work on
fucking death,
themselves.
damn it.
My dogs have also been going crazy
Feel
ever since I got these in
happy.
the mail, and
Feel
anything
happy,
that has a
damn it.
Murphy seal of approval is amazing in my books. So if you too want a cute little friend to hug and also the support of a community, then click the link in the description or go to chubbies.com and don't forget to use code Sydney10 for 10% off your order.
Thank
From
you.
the mid-2010s, maybe earlier, until
Bye-bye.
very recently, there was a huge cultural change in the West when it came to attractiveness. There were a multitude of reasons for this, but some included a
Jesus.
kind of knee-jerk reaction to the aesthetics of the 2000s, the rise of the body
Oh,
positivity
Jesus.
movement, the emphasis on
Oh,
living
God,
one's
all the
truth
rings,
and
dude.
breaking gender stereotypes, and the feminist attempt to defy what men find attractive. And as a result, we got a wave of
Can
what
you
I
shout
think
for
has
more
been the
attention,
intentional
please?
uglification of seemingly
What are you
everything
doing?
and
What is it?
everyone.
What?
I see a lot of discourse on TikTok about the
Whoa,
male repellent
what's with the
outfit.
gaudy
and
fucking
usually it's just
outfit?
like a cute little red cardigan and like maybe some ballet flats. But when I tell you, I'm gonna do you one more. This is the ultimate male repellent formula.
Like I mentioned, I think that
fuck?
this uglification is very strongly tied to the stranglehold that progressive woke ideals had on basically everything, and the aesthetics in turn showed up to match. Showed up to burn my retinas, actually. Celebrities all over the place were starting to hop on the transgender, non-binary, gender-fluid bandwagon.
Correct,
going
where
from
they
being
start-
quite regular-looking
Right, where
or
you
attractive
you
to
have some of the
ghastly
females who
overnight.
are like
People like singer Sam
tomboyish
Smith,
start
who came
wearing
out as
male
non-binary in
things.
2019, and
Right, you
Demi
just have a
Lovato,
bunch
who
of
came out in
females just start
2021,
wearing male
changed their
clothes and shit.
appearances to
And then
match
they start
this
turning
development.
into
Smith
trans
started
people.
appearing on
I was
stage
like, oh.
wearing outrageous outfits, and that's honestly putting it pretty mildly. During various performances, the singer wore a red latex suit with devil horns, simulated sex acts on dancers on stage, and danced around in fishnets and a corset. At the 2023 Brit Awards, Smith
What the
wore an
fuck
inflatable
is that?
black Harry jumpsuit with platform heels. What am I looking at?
What
here?
in
Head
the
shaved,
actual
strange
fuck?
outfits and makeup, doing whatever
See,
could
this
be
is
done
why
to appear
the
as
fashion industry is
unconventional
fucked
as
in the head.
possible. And these
Like,
are just
what
a
is
few
that?
examples of the
What?
physical changes. I'm not sure I'm brave enough to show you any others. This one is just very upsetting. All on its own. Sometimes I genuinely feel like stylists actually hate the people that they're styling. Because why would you do this? Anyway, Demi Lovato followed much the same path. In 2021, after her non-binary announcement, Lovato shaved her head, saying that the act was
Yeah, that was an
liberating
interesting
and helped
one.
her shrug off gender and sexuality norms. Soon, she opted
I
for
wonder if
baggy, grungy
the
clothes and got a
Weinstein stuff
giant
really
spider
fucked her
tattoo
up.
on the side of her head, as you do. Around the same time, she also freaked out about a frozen yogurt shop after being triggered by their selection of sugar-free options due to her previously
Right,
having
with
an
all the
eating disorder.
allegations
But
coming
somewhere
out
between
about some
then
of the
and now, both
Nickelodeon
musicians
stuff and
moved
like the
very
music
far away from this
entertainment
kind of
stuff, it was like,
appearance.
yeah.
Thank
Yeah, a lot of
God.
these people just
Lovato
went off the
publicly
fucking
ditched
deep
the
end.
non-binary thing, telling outlets back in 2022 that it was a lot of effort correcting people who used the wrong pronouns. Soon she got married, and now she's making cute cooking videos. In fairness to Demi Lovato, she was a Disney kid, which I feel like answers
she
a
was.
lot of questions in and of itself, and she has had a lot of struggles with addiction and with mental health and whatnot.
Correct.
So I
Yeah,
think
a lot
that
of the
her
people,
becoming
yeah,
what
a
she
lot
is
of
now
the,
and sort of returning to
yeah, a
this
lot of the
feminized
stars
gender.
who, right, a lot of the young stars that were in like Disney, Nickelodeon, and all that stuff, right? All the kids, like reality TV or right reality TV shows in a sense. Yeah, all of them kind of had some issues after they grew up.
Version of herself probably has more to do with tackling those existing
And
issues rather than
honestly,
I
some
don't
of
know,
them had
jumping off
issues
the
with
gender
family
identity
too,
bandwagon.
right? I mean,
as far
as
as Sam
life
Smith
goes,
goes,
right?
I don't know. But I do know that very recently, actually in the last couple of days, he posted 2 very nice looking pictures on Instagram and has essentially scrubbed his weird era from the platform entirely. So
Wait.
do with that what you will. This same
Really? He scrubbed
transformation
his...
went for people
No
like Miley
way. So ever since Trump got back into power, everyone's been scrubbing like their pronouns and their basically their phase of being I guess trans in a sense.
Cyrus, Billie Eilish, and even Lizzo. All women
Oh,
who
goodness
promoted
gracious.
specific, fairly visually unappealing aesthetics only to later turn
Sorry,
around
that
and
was
more or
rude.
less embrace normalcy. And I think this was guided by gender identity and this social concept of living one's truth and being one's authentic self.
Correct.
Basically, every single one of these people, with the exception of Lizzo, but we'll come back to her later, has claimed to be gender fluid or non-binary or some part of the LGBT
yeah.
community. And we see exactly this reflected in women, predominantly, over on TikTok. I am very sorry.
Gotta
for what
love
I'm about
TikTok,
to show
eh?
you. No, I'm not.
I mean,
It
yeah,
is
I mean,
not
you
a
see
joke
libs
that
at TikTok a
can
lot.
look
You
at
see a lot
someone
of
and their
fucking
particular
Karens, right?
aesthetic and be more or less able to identify their political leanings.
Yeah, all these
and
people are just
beliefs.
fucking weirdos. A bunch of Karens.
Why aren't you on a diet?
Because I like to eat. Is that such a crime?
The TikTok gender identity aesthetics are based around signaling one's rejection of the male and female.
We need to reopen
Those
the
are-
asylums.
those are- have always been
Apparently,
the only
Trump
2
was trying to
options, guys.
reopen the
Sorry.
asylum.
TikTok's anti-fashion trends have
should
genuinely been
reopen
an
them.
attempt to appear as unattractive as possible. And outside of the gender thing, they chalk this up to breaking beauty conventions.
Oh
This is
my
why we
goodness.
ended up with movements like
Oh,
Genuary that encourage women to grow
Oh.
out their body hair. And
Gee, what the
proudly
fuck?
participated in this.
All natural.
So I have this thing, call it a little quirk if you will. I have hair in my armpit. I have it there for a few
Jesus
reasons.
Christ.
1, lazy. 2, fuck the patriarchy. And 3,
Oh yeah. Oh,
your response to them tells me
stop. If you're saying the patriarchy is causing you to make you look beautiful, Holy shit, you're out of your fucking mind.
Everything I need to know about you.
Ma'am, I think you've been shaving the wrong part of your body. This is
Yeah,
also why we
Jesus.
ended up with
Oh
such
my
a
goodness,
huge
she's gonna
fat
fucking
acceptance
pass
community on
away.
the app. What initially started as body
She's gonna pass
positivity,
away
an
too.
idea
Dude,
of
all these
encouraging
people
people
who
to
are...
love themselves despite
Holy
their
goodness
flaws or
gracious, these
whatever,
people are gonna
morphed
fucking
into
die
fat
at
people
40.
wanting representation
She's
absolutely
in a
everywhere,
wheel!
wanting to
Bro,
see
she's
themselves
already
and be
on the
accommodated
path.
absolutely
Jesus.
everywhere. This eventually turned into the outright normalization
This
of
is so
obesity.
bad. Dude,
Just
all
a
the,
reminder
all these
that I
people
am
look like they're
very
gonna
fat
fucking pass
and
away at
very
goddamn
sexy.
40-ish.
And I am 100%.
Oh,
glorifying
that's,
obesity.
there was a cushion. It was a
I
cushion,
was too
dude.
confident in my own body that I overcame so many struggles to learn how to love. Oh, she's so
cottage
full of
cheese.
herself now. Who the fuck am I supposed to be full of if it ain't
Dude,
me?
what is wrong with
too
her
young
her
and too
elbows
old
like
to be seeing
imploded?
this. Like, don't get me
What
wrong,
the
I
fuck?
understand loving yourself, but maybe we
That's
could
so
do that a
much
little less
fucking just
loudly
flab.
and on a treadmill. But as all of this gained in popularity,
I'm
as
sorry,
more
I'm being
celebrities
fucking
jumped on
rude, but
board,
it's like at the same
the
time that's
corporate and
so
entertainment
unhealthy.
spaces saw an
So
opportunity to
fucking
make a bunch
unhealthy.
of money.
I bet
Suddenly,
all of them
people
have
like
health
Jonathan
problems,
Van
by the
Ness
way.
and Alok Vade Menon, a non-binary activist,
What
were
the
appearing
fuck is
in
this?
news and media
Is
absolutely
this a man G?
everywhere.
What the
Back
fuck?
in 2023, Burberry published images for a Valentine's Day campaign showing
Ah.
a model with a most bizarre haircut, and that's honestly putting it pretty mildly,
Uh-huh,
and
and
another
someone
model
who's
with
a
double
trans.
mastectomy scars.
Yes.
For a high-end brand, this felt insanely out of place. I know this isn't
Yeah.
directly related, but
'Cause who
brands
mutilates
had
themselves like
absolutely
that?
nothing to do with and weren't remotely in the realm of transgenderism.
Yes, I'm
decided
calling
to
it
jump on the bandwagon
mutilation when
too.
you do
like
that.
Bloody Bud Light, the redneck man beer brand, partnering with Dylan Mulvaney. Who was this supposed to appeal to?
I
do
don't
think
know.
It's interesting that Bud
So
Light
I got
has
that
still not
uncanny
recovered
valley
from
going
this,
on with the
like,
fucking
trans,
ooh.
too close to the sun.
Ooh,
we had
brother,
this
ooh.
overemphasis on plus-size inclusion in absolutely everything, and as many of you know, this went
Dude,
far
I
beyond
swear.
showing everyday
Dude, these
normal
people are
bodies
gonna
and fully
fucking.
branched into promoting morbid obesity.
They're gonna see the
Lizzo was
grave
poster
at
child
fucking
for
around
this, making
40.
videos
Oh, is that
defending being
Lizzo?
fat,
Oh,
suggesting
Jesus.
those critical of her size were anti-body positivity.
Yikes.
Tess
Well, apparently
Holliday was
Lizzo fixed
consistently
herself
in
now.
the news, and in 2018
with
she
Ozempic
appeared
and
on the
shit.
cover of Cosmopolitan magazine, sparking an intense debate around the promotion of obesity. But she wasn't the only one, and Cosmo wasn't the only magazine. In the same year, Holliday appeared on the cover of the outlet Self. A few years later, in 2022, the same outlet published a series of images of a fat influencer called Jasmine, calling her the future of fitness. She also appeared on the cover of
Jessamine?
Cosmo. Sydney, not even close. It's pronounced Jessamine, I think.
Jessamine.
I don't know why you can't read. In 2020, Calvin Klein ran ads with fat trans model
Correct.
Yari Jones. Why are names so hard? Why am I this way? The year before,
Yeah,
they
basically
ran a campaign
Calvin
with a
Klein
model who is
and a
best
lot of
described
those
as obese.
brands
Never forget what
tried
they
to
took from
right do
us.
yeah.
My issue with this
Yeah, a lot of
specifically
them
is that in
before
an effort to
actually
jump on the body
employed
positivity
models.
bandwagon, what
Now
ended
they're
up
just
happening
picking
was
off random
fat
people off the
acceptance
street to
became
be
more
like, "Hey, would you
normalized
model
and
for us?"
obesity became more normalized, and having deeply and inherently unhealthy habits became more normalized.
Yeah.
And I guess what's interesting,
Yeah,
and what
literally,
kind of fits into the
right, these
overall
people are
vibe of this video, is
normalizing
that many
unhealthy
of the
habits.
primary players
And it's
during
been
this
happening
time
all the
have either
fucking
faded
year
into
after year,
nothingness,
right?
or they've gone ahead and
It
lost
seems like
a
there's
ton
more of
weight.
an increase
like
in
Lizzo,
it, too.
who recently popped back up after
Right,
having
over
lost
the years,
a
for some
tremendous amount
reason.
of weight. And honestly, she looks really great, and I think this is actually quite a
Right,
cool
back
achievement
in
for her.
2000,
Same
right,
goes for other
2004,
musicians like Meghan Trainor, who
2006,
once wrote a song about
right,
not being
2010
skinny
wasn't that much
and
of an
borderline
issue.
attacking thin
But
people,
now,
only to
like in
become one of us.
2016,
Now
it's like,
she looks
oh,
like a
I guess
snack.
that's when it
The
started
point
picking
is,
up, right,
this
during
period of
Trump's
time gave us
presidency.
some of the most bizarre and upsetting advertising that I have ever seen. All of these brands were trying to emulate the weird gender fluid aesthetic.
It's like Trump drove everyone fucking into depressed mode.
This is what Gen Z does to us. Stop. All the while, this ugliness was unfolding in other places as well, like in architecture and art and film and television.
Yeah.
Even in video games,
Yeah,
characters
video
were getting
games.
uglier
Yep.
and uglier. In an effort
Correct.
to appeal to female gamers, oh my god, and desexualize female characters, female protagonists were made fatter, less attractive and more bland. Gone were the sexy outfits and beautiful faces, replaced by whatever the hell this is. And none of this translated. Instead, many gamers felt frustrated because nobody asked for this. I mean,
Correct.
one of the biggest draws of playing video games is the escapism that comes with it, so I really can't understand why that would end at attractiveness. I've also talked about this specific topic in another video in great detail, so I will link that in the description box if you're interested in actually hearing a full breakdown of this weird phenomenon. Anyway, the rise of gender ideology and the trans movement and the fat acceptance movement and body positivity and the desire to see representation everywhere basically came together and created the perfect storm of ugliness. But fast forward to, well, now, and something
Well, I mean,
has
I guess they
changed
wanted to be more inclusive,
yes. There are
yes.
still plenty of weirdos running around on social media and in
So that's why you started
marketing
getting a
and
lot of
advertising and
these,
whatnot, but I
right?
think
Just a lot of
largely
mixture
as
and
the gender ideology
right. They
and
broke away
transgender
from
movements have
employing
completely
right
fallen off,
actual
so
models.
too have the aesthetics that have underpinned them. Same goes for obesity and fat acceptance. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's very little of this in advertising at the moment. There's very little of it in the entertainment and media spaces as well. And I think with the rise of Ozempic and similar type drugs, you see a lot of people now who are able to achieve their weight loss goals with very little effort, and I think that that means that body positivity has fallen flat on its face. Which to me is super interesting and probably warrants its own video because it's
I mean,
like,
it's just people
I
need to
think it
stop
goes
being
show
lazy at the
this
end of the
whole
day.
thing about, oh, love yourself really only applies until you have the ability to actually look how you want without having to put in a ton of effort. Anyway, from celebrities to runways to
Yeah, I
media
think
and
that's the other
entertainment,
issue too.
everyone
They
seems
don't
to
want
have
to put
said
in a
enough
ton
of
of
the
effort,
ugly.
but
Now,
especially
instead
if
of the
you have
Chapel
to,
Roans of the
right? If
world,
you're
the
already
Golden
that
Girls of
big,
the
you have
hour
to
are
put in a
attractive
lot of
women
effort
like
because
Sabrina
you've let
Carpenter
yourself
and Sydney
go for
Sweeney.
so long.
There has been this enormous shift away
Right,
from
you
the
basically
non-binary
debuffed
genderqueer
yourself for
aesthetic
so
in the
fucking
direction of
long.
normal again, with celebrities who once embraced all of this suddenly turning away from it. Runway shows, award shows are suddenly back to having people in normal clothes or beautiful gowns again. Ads
I don't
and
know
media
about that.
are
I was
giving
seeing
us
some weird
attractive
shit.
people
I saw
again.
some weird
Body
shit last time.
positivity and fat acceptance is
But we'll see.
nowhere near as popular in advertising anymore. Movies like Barbie, for example, with its hyper-feminine aesthetic and lead
Correct.
actress Margot Robbie have popped up, appealing to millions of women with the emphasis
Yeah,
on the
Barbie
feminine.
was actually
Even
right in
TikTok
the
has
sense
promoted
that
things
it
like the
actually
mob wife
portrayed
aesthetic.
right
I've had a lot of trouble saying that. Wearing
what
fur
people were
coats,
expecting
bold
it to
lipstick,
portray, right?
and Barbiecore, which is exactly what it sounds like. So you might be asking, why the change? Why is everything suddenly cute and hot and skinny and conventional again? The simple answer is that celebrities and brands were trying to convince the rest of us that they were promoting self-love and self-acceptance by leaning into and embracing qualities and traits that weren't conventionally
very
attractive.
desirable.
But the
Yeah.
sudden abandonment of these specific aesthetics really goes to show that at its core, the push for all of this was really just marketing at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Celebrities, brands, companies, whatever, just
Sounds
saw
about
an
right.
opportunity to make themselves more relatable and human, I guess, by
Yeah.
hopping on the ugly train because their fans and viewers and whoever else were jumping on the ugly train. Really, I just blame TikTok at this point. Brands saw a new sales demographic.
Well,
and
it's not
marketing
just
avenue,
TikTok too.
and
It's
everybody
right. It's the
ran with it
entertainment
until they
industry that
realized
tries.
that the
It's the
average
trendsetters,
normal
right?
person
It's the people who are trying to
absolutely
set
hates all of
trends
this.
that
And I
do
think
this
that's
kind of
actually
bullshit.
a bit of a trend that I'm noticing here overall with these sort of issues, that there's so many people who misunderstand that what's popular on the internet is not actually popular among regular everyday people.
Correct.
And that's
The
why
average,
these
right? The
initiatives and
average
these movements and whatnot
salary
fail on a
person doesn't
timeline
care about
because
any of this,
normal people
right?
get
All
sick of
this
it, they
pop
eventually
culture
switch off.
bullshit and are
Then
looking
brands
hip
notice
and
that
shit,
can't
right?
make
They don't give
money
a
from
fuck.
these sort of people
They're working
anymore
paycheck to
because
paycheck.
we're
Why would the fuck
interested,
they care?
And then little by little, the entire movement, ideology, whatever it is, completely falls in a heap. So in the end, obviously there is a ton to talk about when it comes to the uglification of society and culture and what have you, but as a general rule, I really believe that people are entitled to dress however they really want to. And as much as I am partial to dressing alternatively and being a little bit edgy, I am very, very glad to see the end of this.
I mean, you already
weird
have
period
people who
of
do
time
that.
and the
The
uglification of
Hassans
fashion
and
makeup
the
what have you. And if I'm being honest,
goth
I'm
people,
going to
I
cross
guess you
my
could
fingers
call
and
them.
toes and pray and hope that whatever we have just lived
The-
through does not make a resurgence. Now,
that'll
on that
always
note,
look
and before I open the floor
fabulous,
to all
right?
of you, this is just a reminder, check out Chubbies using the link in the description. Like I said, this is a person who is part of our community, so go and show them some love. Go and check out their cute little plushies, and obviously, if it makes sense to you, definitely join their community. Now, I open the floor to all of you. What do you all think? Are you on my side of this issue where you think that this last, I don't know, decade or so has been uniquely ugly and terrible? Do you think that
I think it's
actually a good
been
thing
going
that
on
people
for
have the
like more
ability
than
to
a
express
decade, to be
themselves like
honest.
this, and
Because,
regardless of their
like I
reasons,
said,
they
I
should be
think
able
it
to do
started
so?
happening
Do you
during
think that all of this is a
Trump's
good thing?
presidency
Is it a
when
bad
people were
thing?
getting
Should
into
we
like depressive
prioritize
mood.
conventionally attractive things, or should we highlight things on the other side of the aisle? What do you think of the fat acceptance movement, the body positivity
And then
movement,
COVID
the
just probably
transgender
made it
movement, and all
right.
of the aesthetics
COVID
that
just
come along with those things?
made it
Are they
even
good?
worse.
Are they bad? Do you like them? Do you
Right,
dislike
because it
them?
was just
What you
fucking
generally
up
make of this issue
businesses, making
overall?
people
I'm sorry about my dog barking in the
right
background.
freak out.
As
There was a
always,
lot
if
of
you've made it
people who
this
got
far in the video,
right passed away from
congratulations.
the.
I always like having you along
Right, a
for
lot of
the
people
full ride.
got
If you are
got
new
from
here
the
and you are not
COVID.
subscribed already and you would like to see more of me and more of this kind of content, feel free to subscribe to the
So-
channel, as well as leaving this video a like.
Yeah, I
and a
mean,
comment,
also
because
there
I
was
do
an
read the majority
influx
of them, and I
in
like hearing
religion
feedback. Of
too,
course, and as always,
because
I
of
hope
all
you
the
little
crazy
chicken
shit.
people
Oh well,
stay
I
safe
guess
and
it
well and make
depends,
good
right?
choices, because those are important, and I will see your pretty little faces in the next video.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just a way. I mean, this is just how society goes, right? Unfortunately, right? When trendsetters and pop culture try to like move things in a certain direction, that this is kind of what you get. Sydney Swatson, if you want to check her out. The age of ugly is over.